Today we're working on 2-4, which is the distributive property. We're going to go straight into some examples here. So let's take a look. First example is asking us to simplify 26 parentheses times 98. Here you can see the first thing we want to do is break this up into an easier problem. So they break 98. What is that close to? 100. So then they can go 100 minus 2. When you use the distributive property, the big thing here is what we're talking about is the little rainbow, big rainbow. So here, 26 times 100 is my little rainbow. 26 times 2 would be my big rainbow. You have to remember with the distributive property that you are giving your 26 to both terms in your parentheses, or all the terms if you would even have more than 2 terms. So taking a look, 26 times 100 minus 26 times 2, you can see little rainbow is here, big rainbow here. 2,600 minus 52 simplifies down to 2,548, which is your answer. Second example says find the total cost of 4 CDs that cost $12.99 each. Once again, trying to make this into an easier problem, or maybe what you call your mental math. $12.99 is close to 13. So I can do 13 minus 1 cent, because here in blue would add up to my $12.99. I have 4 CDs, so once again, little rainbow, 4 times 13, and then we're going to have a big rainbow, 4 times 0.01. You can see in red, 4 went to both terms in my parentheses, the 13 and the 0.01. 4 times 13 gives you 52. And 4 times 0.01 gives you 0.04. 52 minus this simplified to 51.96. So that's what it would cost for 4 CDs. Example 3 says simplifying. Here we are simplifying. Once again, it gets a little more tricky because we are including variables and not just numbers to simplify. So once again, 3 needs to go to everything, both terms, all terms in your parentheses. So we're going to see, let's do our little rainbow first, which is going to give you your 3 times 4m, and then big rainbow minus a 21, which is 3 times 7. So taking a look, once again, I just love how they color code it. We got 3 here in red. We're going to distribute that to both terms, little rainbow to my 4m, big rainbow 3 times 7, 3 times 4, when you multiply these together you get 12m, so don't get caught up here. 3 times 4, really what this is saying is 3 times 4 times m, so we got 12m minus 21. This is as simplified as we can get. Unlike our first 2 examples where we had just numbers, this one has a variable and it's going to have to stay with the variable. These do not have that common term piece. So one of the important pieces is being able to combine like terms, and I'm on page 81 in your textbook. If you get confused about like terms, that is a good resource to go to in your textbooks, because it tells you what like terms are, whether it has an m, the same variable, or this next problem you're going to see we're going to get to exponents. So if you don't know what a like term is, make sure you take a look at page 81 in your book, but we will move on. So here in example 4 we have a negative outside of here. Now what I would recommend everyone doing is taking this and putting your 1 in here. So really you have negative 1 times 5q minus 6. We're going to little rainbow, big rainbow to everything. So let's take a look. You can see how they have included the negative 1 in here as well in red. And then we are going to little rainbow, big rainbow to everything in our parentheses. So negative 1 times 5q, and then big rainbow 5, negative 1 times 6. When you simplify this out, you get negative 1 times 5 is negative 5, and then your q. Negative 1 times negative 6, because you can convert that to an addition. Negative 1 times negative 6 is positive 6. This is once again as simplified as you can get. You've combined your like terms. Example 5 is negative 2w squared plus w squared. We need to simplify this. So what they're going to have us do is, what is in common in all of this? Well, the w squared. Both terms have a w squared. So we can pull that w squared out. If you pull w squared out, what are you left with? Well, negative 2. And pull a w squared out of here. This one is maybe a little more tricky, but really there is a 1 out in front of this w. So it's 1 times w squared. So really you get left with plus 1. Alright, negative 2 plus 1 is going to simplify into a negative 1. So negative 1 times w squared is negative w squared. You wouldn't have to pull this out. That's just a way to simplify this piece here. If you knew that these were common terms, you could say, well, negative 2 plus 1 gives you a negative 1 w squared. That is fine too. Either way, doesn't matter to me. They're just, obviously this is a section on the distributive property, so they're showing you how to use that. Our last example today includes the written words. So we need to create our equation based on the words that are provided. So as you can see here, it says write an expression for the product of negative 6 and the quantity 7 minus m. We need to understand the word quantity. Quantity in math, we're going to need to know that we're using parentheses. So we have to write an expression for the product, which we know is multiply, of negative 6 and the quantity, so this is in parentheses, 7 minus m. So 7 minus m, put that in your parentheses, times it, because it said product, of a negative 6. So we have negative 6, parentheses 7 minus m. We know how to solve this. This is just similar to the previous examples. We can little rainbow, big rainbow. So if you were to just write the expression, you can leave it as this. If you wanted to do negative 42 plus 6m, that'd be fine too. That's actually taking it one more step than what you need to. That is all for your examples today. You can start into your homework.